Good morning, DJ and PK right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. I'm Jake Hatch, producer of this fine program, filling in. PK will be along in just a little bit. DJ is on vacation today. I want to remind you guys that our program is brought to you by our title sponsor, Black Desert Resorts. They are Utah's finest resort. As always, a big thank you to them for their support of this podcast. Our first show after Christmas. A Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to you all out there. A lot going on in the sports world. We'll do our best to catch up on all of it, but also getting you ready for BYU in Colorado tomorrow night in the Alamo Bowl in San Antonio, Texas. Looking forward to that matchup coming up later today. You'll hear from Brian Howell from the Boulder Daily Camera and Buff Zone talking about what to expect from the Colorado Buffaloes. We'll also have our Friday staples of David Locke and Kevin Graham stopping by as well. So a loaded show for you guys on this Friday morning. But let's get started today by talking about the Utah Jazz. They fall 122-120 to the Portland Trailblazers last night. Scoot Henderson making a tough shot to lift the Portland Trailblazers right, I think it was like point whatever seconds remaining. And another loss for the Utah Jazz, but those of you out there looking at what the Utah Jazz are trying to do probably aren't so upset with that. But nonetheless, Jake Scott will recap the game coming up right now with the Utah Jazz game recap.
Your Jazz recap here on DJ and PK 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Jake Scott with you. The Jazz drop a close one in Portland last night to the Blazers, 122-120. Lauri Markkanen hit a game-tying three, but Scoot Henderson hits the go-ahead 2 bucket with 0.1 second left to go, and Portland hangs on for the victory. The Jazz were led by Lauri Markkanen, who had 25 points. In this one, but not quite enough. Let's get to the post-game sound of Jazz head coach Will Hardy.
A tough loss because I felt like through 3 quarters our defense was really good, and we had given up 23 points at the rim through 3 quarters, and we gave up 24 points at the rim in the fourth quarter alone. Our defense just sort of fractured. They put a lot of pressure on us, driving the ball downhill. It was a variety of guys. I thought Denny Avdia played a great game and was really physical driving the ball downhill. But we came into the game with the notion of like we were doing a few things based on their personnel, but overall we felt like if we could take care of the rim and execute offensively, we had a really good chance to win this game. And through 3 quarters, we did that. I felt like in the fourth quarter, maybe we overreacted a little bit to a few guys making a couple of threes. But the rim was the most important thing. And like I said, 23 points at the rim through the first 3 quarters, 24 points at the rim in the fourth quarter alone. So it's disappointing because you leave with this feeling. The fourth quarter is the most recent feeling that we have, but I thought it was 3 quarters of really good basketball by our team. I thought the fourth quarter, a few turnovers at times that hurt us. But to come out of the fourth quarter, we scored 32 points in the fourth quarter. I feel like the offensive side of the ball is playing pretty well. Defensively tonight, the fourth quarter cost us.
Completely separate games, but do you see any similarities between what happened in Cleveland late in the game and what happened tonight? Just flurries, different things in that fourth quarter? Or
I think it's a little different. In Cleveland, the game shifted. We were down 3 when they fouled Walker, and then we fouled Mitchell shooting a 3. So that game, it was a close game, but it wasn't as close as this one. I do think late game execution, obviously, our team hasn't been together very long. We've got a lot of different guys out there at the end. But I felt like on the offensive side of the ball, there were a couple of turnovers late that hurt, but I felt like the team for the most part was on the same page. It just was a tough quarter to feel like we could get into a rhythm because we were taking the ball out of the net so much. The first 3 quarters, we were able to get out and run a little bit off our defense, and that helps you have a little bit of a better feeling when you have to execute in the half court. The fourth quarter felt really choppy because we just couldn't get any stops.
I know you've talked a lot about Lowry being the best when he's on the move. Tonight we saw that a lot off ball, going downhill, or just catch and shoot threes. What did you like about his game tonight and how he was able to score?
Yeah, I think Lowry is adjusting really well. He's being guarded very physically. I feel like he's making some better reads off the ball. We also have made a few adjustments to try to help him stay on the move. There was a period of time where, watching the film, I felt like Lowry was stagnant, but a lot of that, is probably on me. And so we needed to make a few adjustments, try to get him a little higher on the floor at times. I think, he and Colin are developing a nice rhythm together, playing that two-man game on top. So it's something we've got to continue to work on. But, Lowry understands that the objective on every possession is to create a good shot for our team. And sometimes, based on how he's guarding, the best thing he can do is screen. I thought he did a really good job with his angles tonight. He freed up some of his teammates. So it's a process for Lowry because he's getting a lot of attention every night. And sometimes there's the feeling in his position that I have to score a certain number of points to help us win, and that's not always the case. But he's been great about it, and I think that we've found a little bit of a rhythm with him lately, helping him move some more off the ball.
Late in the third quarter, too, we had all the rookies in, Kyle, Isaiah, Cody. I'm just curious what you saw from them tonight compared to how we even started the season.
Yeah, I think they're all more comfortable than they were to start the season. There's obviously still a lot of work to do. And the great part is that they all have moments. And I think watching them play a lot in the G League, we're continuing to build an understanding of who they are, but also where they are in the process. That's a big part of development sometimes, is sort of the diagnosis of it and what do we need to address first. And I think we have a better handle on that now than we did 2 months ago. But I think all of them have shown a lot of improvement in their understanding, both sides of the ball. But we still have a lot of work to do, and they're digging in. They're working individually. They're working in practice. They're working on the film. I do think they're all really competing, which is the most important thing for me, building those foundational habits of competitiveness every night. And, I'm happy with all their progress.
That's Jazz head coach Will Hardy. Let's now move on to the players and hear from Drew Eubanks.
Awesome. Well, Drew, we know this was going to be a battle, knowing how you guys won last time. How do you guys think you guys played, despite the outcome, but being tested like that?
Yeah, we knew they were going to come out, like you said, how we played them last time. And for the most part, we executed what we wanted to do, take the ball out of Ant's hands and make other guys beat us. Those guys played well, and they won on a good shot at the end.
And then tonight, even your performance, most points in a Jazz uniform since you've been here. Shot, 6 of 6 from the field. What happened for you tonight on the court to be able to do that?
The ball was moving a ton. We were sharing it. That second unit, we made a lot of good stuff happen, and I was the recipient of some good plays. So just got to keep playing like that.
What have you been able to learn about the team on these road games that have been really close, really intense these last couple of games?
Yeah, we've gotten better every single time we've gone out there, executing different stuff and getting more of a rhythm with each other. And I like where we're at. We're a young group, and we're going to keep getting better. So just got to keep it up. Yeah.
That was Drew Eubanks, 15 points, perfect 6 of 6 shooting. Let's now move on to Svi Mihailuk.
Svi, it seems like this road trip, there's been a lot of really, really tough games, and it's hard playing on the road. But what have you learned about your team in these different environments?
I feel like it's a great experience for all of us, especially we have a young team, and close games teach us a lot how to play. What I hope we learn from our own mistakes, and I hope we keep moving forward, because I feel like it's a great experience because it gives us opportunity to learn what we need to do at the end of the game or how we need to approach the games like that.
Your performance tonight, you got hot at some point and 50% from three. What were you feeling out there in the court tonight?
What
were you feeling tonight on the court when 50% from three?
Same game, different day. Just trying to come out there, shoot the ball when I'm open, try to make the right play and play the right way.
And I know every team travels a lot on the road, but you guys are finally back for 2 home games. What is that going to feel like just to kind of settle in a little bit back at home?
I feel great. It's always great to play at home, and I feel like it's going to give us a boost of energy. The fans are going to give us a boost of energy, and I hope we're going to win the next 2 games.
That was Svi Mihailuk, 18 points for him. He got the start, 6 of 13 shooting, 6 of 12 from 3. But the Jazz come up short against the Blazers. They lose 122-120. Up next, the Jazz are at home for a showdown on Saturday night with the Philadelphia 76ers. That game will tip off at 7:30. Pre-game coverage begins at 6:30.
There you go, Jake Scott, and big thank you to him for taking the time to recap that tough loss for the Utah Jazz. Coming up next, we go to San Antonio, Texas, to hear from the Colorado Buffaloes, Shedeur Sanders, as well as a number of the other Colorado Buffaloes players getting ready for this game in the Alamo Bowl coming up later this hour. You'll also hear from BYU coordinators Jay Hill and Aaron Roderick, as well as a bunch of BYU players. Also spoke to the media. We'll get to all that as DJ and PK rolls on right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Good morning, DJ and PK right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. I'm Jake Hatch filling in for this first hour here on the program on a Friday after Christmas. The BYU Cougars take on the Colorado Buffaloes tomorrow evening in San Antonio, Texas, in the Alamo Dome in the Alamo Bowl. Looking forward to this matchup. See if the Cougars can pick up an 11th win on the season, but they'll be facing Shedeur Sanders, Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, and obviously the Heisman Trophy winner himself, Travis Hunter, in this game. Well, Shedeur Sanders, as well as a number of the other Colorado Buffaloes, addressed the media yesterday to talk about this matchup, what they expect when they take on the BYU Cougars, and a whole lot more. Here you go, part of that conversation, I guess part of that press conference, I should say, with the Colorado Buffaloes.
This question is for Shedeur. Pat Sherman was just in here talking about the relationship with you, and I know you've had a number of different coordinators during your college career, but can you talk about what you've maybe gleaned from all of them, but also specifically with Pat and like why he's been such a good coordinator for you?
Yeah, so each year I would say more and more been put on my plate. The more experience I got, the more years and tasks on hand, the more ball I play. So at this point, it's kind of he brought a different perspective of, from the league perspective, coming into college and being able to adjust and help me see things in a different perspective, in a different way. So we could all look at the defense on the board, but we all could have different point of views. So it's kind of, that's why I'm thankful to be in the situation I'm in and have all the different offensive coordinators, and ending with him is because he's been, at the biggest level, the highest level you could get. And I was able to learn a lot from each and every one of those coordinators to where it all built me into the player I am today.
This one could be for Shedeur and Jimmy as well. Speaking with BYU earlier, they talked about how excited they are to get to play against such a talented roster, and your coaches came in, talked about the strong defensive front that they have. What are you most looking forward to when it goes to going up against BYU?
For me, it's problem solving. That's what it is. We know they're going to do a lot of exotic things and a lot of different things that we probably haven't seen on film. But it's just, we just got to always just stick to the basics and do what we do best. And they're a talented team, and they listen to their coaches and they do everything 98% right. It's defense, so defense is eventually somebody's gonna bust a coverage, but that's just what it is. But watching film on them, it's hard, very hard to find a tail and very hard to find a flaw when it comes to them, because the way they go about their business, the way they get in their stunts, the way they're able to move and react different ways, and you don't know who's doing what, So they got a great scheme, they got a great everything, and I'm very blessed for my final collegiate game to go against that type of challenge.
Yeah, to piggyback off of Shedeur, really what we looking forward to, basically, he's really said everything. They're a real good disciplined team, and we just gotta go out there and execute our game plan and play smart.
Question for Shedeur, obviously. Everyone knows you and your dad's tradition before the game, just kind of walking to the end zone and walking back. I know Shiloh's joined you a couple times this season during that. I mean, just kind of how much are you looking forward to that last one this Saturday, and kind of what do you feel like the conversation will be during that time?
I think the walk is the least of my worries right now. I think they got a pretty good D in this bound to go early second round. So that's kind of my focus right now. I'm not really focused on a walk with him. There's bigger things and bigger tasks at hand. The main thing is just to win the game and do it in a dominant fashion, do it very clean and precise. And that's what our focus is. So in these final days, wrapping up everything to get to the game, just cleaning minor things up that we see flaws, and watching old games that we play honestly, and just getting back, in that taking yourself back through those situations, those times, since we had so much time off.
Shedeur, it's
and by the way, I got a lot of teammates up here too. I just said, because they wouldn't have came if it was just about me. It was pointless for them to come.
Well, on that note, it's not a question we use to ask football players, and it's almost crazy to ask a football player this question. But why are you playing in this game? Why did you make the decision to play a game that so many other guys in your situation don't necessarily do?
Yeah, I mean, I don't adjust and I don't do what other people do. I feel like that's. Even from the beginning, we went to HBCU and not every offer in the country. So it's like I don't really care what other people do, and it's about, I'll say it's about the team, and it's about everything I stand for. It is about equality, and it's about, just because they projected X, Y, and Z, that don't mean I can't play with my X, Y, and Z's. You get what I'm saying? I got to play with my receivers. I got to be able to play with the team, the O-line, everything like that, because we may not ever have a chance to play again together on the same team. So it's about cherishing the moment. It's about knowing this is the final collegiate game, and each and every game we left it all out there, so there's no regret. I don't ever want to go anywhere with regret, so that's the thing. If I felt like anything negative, I wouldn't have played this year. I was going first round last year regardless anyway, so you feel me? It is no difference. I would have just went.
Let's have two more questions for Shedeur and let him go. You have a question for Shedeur? Anybody? Front question, last question for Shedeur.
Congratulations this year. Great season.
Definitely.
You mentioned problem solver on the field.
Mm-hmm.
In real-time situations, is it just you and Coach Sumer? Is it you and Coach Prime, or your receivers, your teammate who's helping you make those decisions? Can you speak to that, please?
Well, it's a little bit of everything. Like I say, I talk to them on the sidelines, get their perspectives. I ask them, okay. Well, I'm not gonna tell you too much what I ask them, but anyways, I get the details I need to know from their perspectives, to know how to attack the defense, to see if they're seeing what I'm seeing, so we all on the same page. Then we recap. Of course, we have our own mini conversations. Then we recap with the boss, Coach Shermer, and then we talk about how we're gonna go moving forward. So that's what it is, the problem solving. If you could watch a team, we came out a couple games where we watched a team the whole year, and it was 4 down front, and it came out an odd. So it's like we seen everything. That's what Utah did to us early on in the game, and it kind of threw us off a little bit. But we had that challenge, we had that milestone already, so we know how to adjust. So that's why anything, I'll say pretty much everything now, we have the solution. It's just we just got to get to it early. We can't wait till it's too late or to after halftime to get to that point. So that's what I'm most excited for, is we all know what's at stake. We all know what's on the line, and we just got to start fast and do it early on.
Thank you, Shedeur.
I got one more for Shedeur. Whoever drafts you might be interested in adding some of these guys next to you to the team. Would you mind going through and just, if that team asks you, hey, what do you think of LeJounte, Will, Cam, or Jimmy, what would you tell them?
So for sure, LeJounte, for sure he's going to get open. He's a threat all over the field. And it's hard. I haven't seen too many receivers get in and out the breaks how he do. And man-to-man coverage is very tough to guard him because I'm like, after some plays I ask him, I'm like, dang, bro, I didn't know you was going to get open on this. You feel me? Because it's not supposed to be there, but you still made it happen. So that's for LaJohntay for sure. Will, definitely 50-50 ball guy. And I feel like I know how to get him going. I know how to – I was going to say something, but I was going to say something. But, I know how to turn that switch on for him. Whenever, through good, bad, through everything, and he overcame a lot this season. So at a big stage, and you understand it's not a lot of people and not a lot of players in college football that goes through as much pressure as playing for the Colorado Buffaloes. So he dealt with pros, he dealt with the cons of everything, so he's level-headed and he understands each and every game I got to go out there and make a big impact. So definitely going to go up and get the ball, go and make plays, and I don't really call them 50-50 balls. It's kind of automatic, you know. Cam for sure. I don't really like going against him that much. So but Cam, he's gonna do his job and he's Mr. Consistent. So that's probably the most consistent players we have. Everything that he does is consistent. The way he practices, the way he goes about his business, and we've been doing that since HBCU. So it's like it's no level or anything that could get to him. It's nothing, fame, lights, money, it's nothing that could get to him because we all came from that same area, that same challenges, the same journey. So we're almost the same, I say, but he's just on the defensive side of the ball. He's the quarterback of the defense. Jimmy Horn, he's definitely fast. Jimmy, I'm real disappointed right now because Jimmy was playing through a lot of injury this year, so I take that personal that he wasn't able to get the numbers and able to do what he was supposed to do because we had big plans, big everything with him and Amarion. So that kind of really hurt me, I would say, and he hasn't been able to show his best yet. So maybe it's not, the perfect time right now for him to hit his peak. Maybe it's, year 3, year 4 in the league, we on the same team for him to really maximize his full potential. But he's able to get open. He's able to, when he's healthy, he's very unstoppable, and it's tough to guard him in man coverage. So any one of them I'm excited to play with. I really hope it happens, I really hope it does. Because I know them, I know everything about them. So I'm just, who knows? I'll be excited for it, though. But I'm definitely pulling for him, though. I definitely am.
Appreciate your time, Shedeur.
Yeah, thank you.
Questions for the other players?
I got one for Cam. Coach Livingston a couple weeks ago was almost getting a little bit emotional talking about yourself and some of the seniors that you're going to play in your last game this Saturday. And just wondering if you could speak to just kind of the emotions of getting to work alongside him this season and growing that bond since he got on campus last winter.
Ever since Coach Livingston got here, he just trusts me with defense. He always tells me I trust Cam with my kids. And that means a lot to me. That means a lot to everybody on the team just because Coach Livingston I don't really look at him as a DC. I kind of look at him as a teammate. It's kind of that kind of thing. He's in that ground with us every day. He's just a wonderful guy, terrific guy. I mean, honestly, he changed my life. He changed my life for the better. Just when he came in with no playbook, and he told me, what do you like to do? What do you like to see? We went with it, and I love him for it, and I love him for it for life.
Kind of building off what Shedeur said there, Jimmy, obviously you've been dealing with those injuries. How have you gotten through that? How have you been feeling in these bowl practices?
I've been feeling pretty good. The way I got through it, I go to treatment every day, just got to show up, get the treatment for my body so I can go out there and perform.
What would it mean for you to have a big performance on Saturday in your final game as a Buff?
It'll mean a lot. I want everybody to have a great performance. You don't want to finish your last game just wishing, shoulda, coulda, you know what I'm saying? So just want to finish all strong with a great performance.
LeJohntay, this has a potential to be the last game you play with your brother. What does that mean to you, and what kind of advice are you looking to leave him with as you move on to the NFL and he has another year in college?
Playing with my little brother, man, it's amazing. It's a blessing. Going into this last one, I definitely am going to get a little emotional. But all I'm going to tell him is just keep grinding, man. Like, when your time come, I tell him all the time, like, when your time come, let them see it. Like, let them see what we be working on. Let them see what I see, you feel me? What all our family see, So he just patiently waiting. So when his time come, he going to show the world.
For each one of you, can you just talk about ending your career in a bowl game like this? And for a lot of you, you went through some losing seasons where you're at before. So what does it mean to you, start from Jimmy on down, just kind of what it means to you to be in this bowl game and finish your career this way?
Man, it means a lot. It's been a journey. Shoot, it's my first bowl game since I've been in college. So I'm real excited, man. And I just want to thank all my teammates, everybody, a part of the coaching staff, the coaches. Like, it's been a real journey, man. We worked real hard to get where we at. And, I can't thank nobody enough because, I won't be here without them, So it's been a journey, man. And I'm just thankful and blessed for this opportunity to be in the bowl game. I cherish this. I'm going to go out here and play real hard. So I'm just ready.
Like you said, man, everything to us. Especially for me, when I came in Boulder on the 111, after the 111 team, and we had to build a lot. A lot of things didn't go our way. A lot of people hated on us, but look at us, so look where we at. So it means a lot. It means a lot to be here, just be here at this wonderful establishment, San Antonio. It just means a lot. We always pray to be here, be somewhere in a bowl game. It's been great, man. Great.
Yeah, this is my first bowl game too, so it's really just a blessing, especially being able to be at one of the best bowl games outside of the college football playoff and get to play with everybody on this stage and everybody back at the hotel one more time.
Just piggybacking off of them, this is our first bowl game. This is my first real bowl game. I had a bowl game in the Montgomery Bowl in 2020, COVID season, but I'm just taking it all in. It's hard to get here, This is our Super Bowl. We didn't make it to the college football playoffs, so this is our playoff game, and we're locked in. And just like this is our Super Bowl, so we ready.
This one for Jimmy and Cam. Both you guys have been here for the last 2 years. You have the opportunity to be around some of these younger guys. Cam, Jimmy, we've seen both of you with passion speeches in front of the team. How important is it to both of you to pass down the standard that you helped reestablish? Cam, you spoke about that after the Oregon State game, that there was no standard when you got here, and now you guys take a lot of pride in being able to set that. So have you gone out of your way to maybe go to some of these younger guys and make sure that they're getting acclimated?
Yeah, of course. Because we didn't get a chance. We didn't get a chance to play for a Big 12 championship or a national championship. But we still want to see that happen here. We still want these guys to, go do something. I talk to the newcomer freshmen, the early enrollees guys all the time, just because they're building something here. We're really building something. We are the guys that you'll remember that started this. So when they get to winning, it's like, okay, that's the time for us to come back and be like, man, we started all this for y'all. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I always think about, because I know one day it's gonna happen for us. So I just make sure I pass that standard down. It's very important. These next coming guys, these guys are it's a difference for me, because the guys that came in December, like the early enrollees, I can just tell they're different. I can tell there's a different mentality than when me and Jimmy would come in January and we had guys come in, they just wasn't there, but these guys were working their butt off in practice already and only had 2 or 3 practices. So it's going to be great. It's especially important to make sure you keep passing it down.
All right, we got the pep rally, so let's just do a couple more questions, please.
Can I hear Jimmy's
I'm sorry.
that? I'm so sorry.
I was about to let him go ahead and go. No, but to piggyback off what Cam said, the coaches got the blueprint, and us players, we set a foundation that the younger kids that come in, and they got to build off of, So, they come to practice every day to work, every day they working. And it's good to see younger kids that's coming in as freshmen that really want to play. Cause when I was at other program, you could just tell, you just know who really want it and who really don't want it. You know what I'm saying? So we just gotta, us just talking to them, just, I don't know, nah. I ain't too much of a talk.
Front row.
This is for all of you. Specifically you, Cam. You spent a lot of time with Coach Prime and this coaching staff, and you're having a lot of success in the portal. Why do you think the coaching techniques and the experience of Coach Prime and the rest of the coaching staff is being so successful?
That's an interesting question. The biggest thing I think about, I can't really think of too much. It's just work. You're gonna get here, you're gonna have to work your butt off. Nothing gonna be handed to you. Any of these guys can tell you, like when I first got here, when Jimmy first got here, when Will first got here, when Jonathan first got here, it was kind of like, all right, it's kind of different speed. It's kind of different. You know what I'm saying? These coaches talk a little different. They move a little different. So just the work you have to come here and put in. And it's kind of like a survival, if you like to say, man. You get here, it's like, all right, I'm trying to survive. So when you get to the season, then that's when LeJontay go for 200, Will go for 200, Jimmy go for 200. You know what I'm saying? So that's when that happens, when you get through the work. So it's all about the work when you come here.
Okay. Can we go middle? Last question, please.
I'll ask you two over here. I asked BYU this. Both these teams were part of that four-way tie for the Big 12 title, but you're the two that didn't get to go to that title game. So have you guys talked about this maybe being sort of a secondary Big 12 title game?
Yeah, a little bit, man. BYU was top of the conference at one point of the season. We was top of the conference at one point of the season. So, I mean, y'all seen the Big 12 game. Yeah, it was cool, you know. So we gonna give y'all a real Big 12 show on Saturday. That's all I'm gonna say.
I mean, we both had to watch other games to see if we were gonna get in. So I think it's kind of a personal thing for everybody, knowing that we couldn't be in that game and seeing how that game went and just kind of making this one, like someone already said up here, like make it like the Super Bowl for us.
Thank you. Thank you.
There you go, Shedeur Sanders and the Colorado Buffaloes getting ready for that matchup tomorrow night. It'll be a 5:30 pregame show here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Alex Curie and myself getting you ready for that matchup. And obviously we'll have full postgame coverage as well as soon as the game goes final with whatever happens on the gridiron. Coming up next, we flip over to the BYU Cougars. What do the Cougars have to say about this matchup? We'll get to that next right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Welcome back to DJ and PK right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Hope you're doing well on this Friday morning. If you're working, you're out and about, if you're up this early, thank you so much for tuning in. Getting you ready for BYU in Colorado tomorrow night in the Alamo Bowl. Looking forward to this matchup and a whole lot of chatter, obviously, in the lead up to this game. Let's let you hear now from BYU coaches and players. There were 8 of them in total up on the dais. We had offensive coordinator Aaron Roderick, defensive coordinator Jay Hill, quarterback Jake Retzloff, wide receiver Chase Roberts, linebacker Isaiah Banya, offensive lineman Connor Pay, and a few more Cougars addressing the media. We'll get to that right now, right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
For any of the coaches, when it comes to playing in a dome and when whether it's just the atmosphere or just the feel of not having to worry about weather conditions like you would at your home field. Is there anything different that comes into this environment rather than something else you've experienced this season?
Offensively, there's not really anything different. We practice in an indoor facility quite often, but it is nice to know you don't have to worry about the wind or anything. You just play ball, and so we're looking forward to that.
Thank you, Coach Roderick. Other questions?
Coach, when you think about the opportunity to be going up against somebody as talented as a Heisman Trophy winner at corner, what type of challenges are you guys preparing for when it comes to it? A lot of people think, okay, just stay away from his side, or what are things that you think about when the challenges he presents for your offense?
Well, he's a great football player. First of all, I'm a big fan. To play as many snaps as he plays on offense and defense is very impressive, and he plays at a really high level all the way through the fourth quarter. He's playing just as fast at the end of the game as he does at the beginning, so that's impressive. The problem with going away from him, though, is their other defensive players are really good too. You know, they have a good defense, so we know what we're up against, and we're excited for the challenge. I feel like we're going to match up well. But we have a lot of respect for them. They have good players.
Coach Hill, on the other side, what is it like preparing for players as talented as Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter and what they bring to the offense?
Well, they're obviously very effective in what they do. They throw the ball really as good as any team in the country. Shedeur's completing a lot, a very high percentage of his passes, and he's got 4 very good weapons to throw to. It's an explosive offense. I think it's a fun challenge for us. It's, their pass offense against our pass defense that will be kind of the matchup on our side of the ball that everyone's going to be looking at, and I'm excited for the challenge. We're going to have to do some things, obviously, to get some pressure on him and then do some things to disguise coverages. Shedeur is a very intelligent quarterback, so if you just sit in one thing and he knows where to go with the ball, he's very accurate.
Chase, you guys have pulled out some games as an underdog this year. What does that say about this BYU team and the mentality that you guys play with?
Yeah, that's just always how we've been, you know. Ever since the start of the season, we were underdogs when it came to winter workouts, spring ball, fall camp, and that's the mentality that we had going into each game, and that's the mentality we have going against Colorado. We're just excited to go do what we do and show that we can play football, that we can match up with anyone, and we can score a lot of points and we can stop them on defense. So just excited to play a talented team like Colorado and go show what we can do. And every game's been a statement game, so we're going to go make another statement this Saturday.
This question for Tyler. When you watch Shedeur on film, they obviously give up a lot of sacks, but he also avoids a lot and makes some plays. So what's the challenge of facing a guy like that you maybe can get to, but he's still going to probably avoid some of those and make some plays?
Yeah, I would say it's just it's an exciting opportunity. It's a great challenge. He does run around well and extend plays, and he's accurate with the ball even when he's getting hit, right, and even when he's being pressured. And so for us, it presents an awesome opportunity to get after him and get some sacks, right? We know he's going to hold on to that ball a little bit longer, and at the same time, you just got to be careful to not let him, kind of run free and complete those long balls down the field.
For any of the players or maybe multiple players, Coach A-Rod the other day said that bowl games are a lot about motivation and which team wants to be there the most. Convince us that you guys want to be there the most.
I could take that one. If you guys know my history being a junior college player, then walking into a stadium like this is a lot different than any stadium we've walked into, and we are plenty excited to be here. This is obviously being as big of a stage as it is, prime time, playing against a good team that draws a lot of media attention, and we are excited to show what we got. But like Jay said, we've been doing it all year. We've been the underdog all year, and we've been ready to make our statements all year, and so we'll be excited. We'll be, dancing in the end zone and having fun on the field all game. And you'll see when we play at best, I know we got a lot of smiles among all 8 of us. There's a lot of smiles when we're playing best. So you'll see the smiles come Saturday, and we'll be excited to hit that field.
Thanks, Jake.
Connor and Isaiah, same question.
Sounds good. Thank you. I was getting bored in the corner over here. But no, for guys like Tyler and me, this is our last chance in a BYU uniform, and that's plenty of motivation, and going along with everything that Jake said to make this game really exciting. But this is the last time we get to wear that Y on our chest and be with our teammates, and you want to go out and perform the best you ever have. It's your last chance. There's nothing to hold back, and that's the mentality that we're taking to this game, at least for the seniors too. And then, like Jake said, there's a lot of cool things surrounded with a bowl game like this, and we're really grateful to be here.
I'll probably say mostly playing for the seniors, but
you see like Travis Hunter and these guys, like especially him winning the Heisman and stuff. That's like, I feel like that's like something all the boys want to play against him, especially just, I don't know, the competition really. And us having to play another team in our conference, I feel like that's motivation too, just to start this conference rivalry. So I don't know, I feel like those are the things that we're most excited about, especially in just with our seniors and stuff. I don't know, I love these boys, and that's the only motivation that I need. So.
Thank you, Connor. Then Isaiah in the back.
My question is for Jacob. How would you describe the culture of BYU football as a player, and like how has it impacted you, especially going into postseason? I know culture can kind of shift sometimes, so is the culture the same, or is it very much getting better and better as y'all have been in San Antonio?
I'd say Kalani really preaches about love and learn. It's kind of just BYU as a whole. I feel like in our locker room, it's love and learn. If there's a fight ever, we gotta shake hands after. It's never hold grudges. So yeah, I think that's the biggest thing for us.
Go ahead, Gary.
Connor, I wanted to ask you about Colorado's obviously a team that generates a lot of attention, while BYU's kind of flown under the radar in a lot of ways. Do you like that dynamic? You wish there was more eyes on BYU football and people appreciating what you do, or how do you size that up?
I think we're totally fine with it. Right? I think being the underdog, or in some ways maybe underappreciated, we're comfortable being there. We're used to it. And they've played really well this year. They deserve the attention that they're getting, and that's totally fine. And we're comfortable where we are. We don't need all the media attention or all the other stuff. Our motivation comes from different places. Obviously, you all appreciate it when you do get recognized for things you do well. You're grateful for it, but it's not a necessity.
Middle, Brian.
I have two questions, if I could. The first one's for Jacob. Travis Hunter obviously won the Blitnikoff, but they got LaJonte and Will and Jimmy Horn, all these guys. Can you talk about the challenge of going against this receiving core? And have you gone against one as deep as this one?
Yeah, they're all fast. They're all really skilled. We've seen really good receivers this whole year. I'm just excited to go against all of them. We played number 4 from Arizona, who was really good. So I think, we all just came in with the mindset is we're going to play good. So.
And then just for any of the players, you guys both these teams were part of that 4-way tie for first place. You're the two that didn't get to go to the title game. Do any of you look at this as kind of sort of another Big 12 title game?
I think it's the People's Big 12 Championship, personally.
Thanks, Jake. Front row.
For Coach Roderick and Coach Hill, what can this bowl game do for you guys to springboard into 2025 next year as a tone setter?
Well, I think anytime you get a chance to go out on a win, that's a huge deal. It's one more opportunity for the young guys to continue to get better and to prove that they deserve to be starters next year. It's such a fun matchup that there's going to be a lot of hype, and I think that hype can lead you into next season with next year's rankings and things like that. So there's a lot riding on this game, and we're approaching it as such.
Yeah. Offensively, our first priority is to send our seniors off the right way. And then secondly, we're treating it, for the returning players, we're treating it like the first game of next year. Just like Jay said, there's a chance to generate some momentum going into next season.
Question in the front.
For Aaron and Jay, how are you guys approaching junior college players getting an extra year? And have you had discussions with Darius and Maury Bamba, on both of your sides, and Jake too, about what they want to do?
Well, I think that there's still a lot that's out there to be decided on exactly what that ruling is, but we do have a few really good players that fall into that boat on both sides of the ball, and we'd be very excited to get those guys back if we can.
In the back.
It's for Isaiah and Tyler. I just wanted to know, since y'all been in San Antonio, I know yesterday y'all had the pleasure of going to SeaWorld and riding all the rides. So how was that experience being in SeaWorld, and then how's it just been being here in San Antonio and seeing the Alamo and all that?
It was crazy, actually. I've never actually seen a dolphin before, so I don't know. Being able to see a dolphin kind of blew my mind, and then just riding the rides, I don't know. It might have looked like I was crying, but I was not, I promise.
Sure.
Yeah, it's been great being in San Antonio. We've been in and out of Texas and got to sample different parts of Texas over the past couple years. And San Antonio's been great. SeaWorld was a ton of fun with the guys, going on all the rides and just hanging out. Seeing all the animals and everything. It was a lot of fun. So we've really enjoyed our time up to now.
For Aaron and Jay, just obviously this is a team that's on your schedule for next season too. I mean, what is the challenge of that, and what are you hoping to get out of this? I know both teams will look a lot different going into next season, but what are you kind of hoping to get out of seeing what they do on both sides of the ball?
I think the focus is just winning this game. I think that game will come when it comes, and we'll see what each team looks like at that time. But the focus right now is to win. They're a very good team. We have to be ready to play. And they have to be ready to play us too. I think we have a good football team too, and to look ahead too far would be a mistake.
Front
row. For Jake and then Chase, obviously the other quarterback is getting a lot of accolades. Jake, how does that affect your mindset? And then for Chase, how does it affect your mindset that on the other side, the other receiver in the game, or the other big receiver is the Heisman Trophy winner?
Shedeur is obviously a great player. It's been fun to kind of watch him play a little bit. But we quarterback comparisons is something we love to do. But at the end of the day, I'm not playing against Shedeur. I'm actually playing against his defense. What he does has little to do with what I do. So I'm focused on, putting the ball in the end zone for our team against their defense. I'm not going to be worried about that. I know the 4 guys on the other side of that table are going to worry about him and take care of him, and then I'm going to do the same with the defense.
Yeah, I love players that love the game and that do things right on and off the field. And I think Travis Hunter's a guy that does that. So I look up to him, and I'm just excited to go against him on the other side of the ball too. I'm excited that he plays corner as well. And to watch him in his game and learn from him, and it's just a challenge. I love the challenge. I want to go against guys like that. It's what you dream of as a little kid. To go against the best players in college football and then make it to the NFL and go prove yourself in the NFL. So my goal is to, obviously win the game as a team, and then also to play well and to show that I can play and that we can hang as a team with these great players. So I'm excited. It's going to be fun.
Front row.
Sticking with you, Chase, since it's the first time we've gotten to talk to you since you posted a little something on Instagram about coming back. Can you just kind of walk us through a little bit your decision to come back for your final year, sort of maybe some of the feedback that you got, and maybe the most pressing question is how'd you decide on the song for your Instagram announcement?
Yeah, that was a good one, huh? No, our media team is awesome. They helped me out with the song and all the video and stuff. They did a great job. I mean, Jake was a big part of coming back, and having Jake back another year, being able to have that connection, work in the off season, that's gonna be so fun. And I think it's only gonna up, our play as a team and also our opportunities to go play at the next level as well. And we have a great staff, a great community, just everything about BYU. It's hard to not take advantage of another year if you have one. And that's the biggest thing. I prayed about it and took it to God, and it felt like the right thing to come back and go win a Big 12 championship. That's going to be the goal. And so I'm excited to come back and be a part of this staff again and this team. I love my brothers, and it's going to be fun. But we're focused on this game, and it's going to be the first game of the season, kind of ride momentum into next year. So we're excited.
All right, let's go. Final question in the back.
Jacob, so you have 11 career interceptions. You're now tied for second in BYU history since 2000 and tied for fifth in the FBS with active career interceptions. So what's been the key to your success, and what does it mean to you to be among the best in the country?
I'd say for sure just trusting what Coach Hill calls. I mean, he sets us up to get interceptions. He always talks smack to us during practice about he'd get more interceptions than all of us, and I believe him. I believe him because, I mean, he sets us up in the perfect position to get plays. So, yeah.
There are the Cougars. A big thank you to them for taking the time. Looking forward to this matchup tomorrow night. Once again, it'll be a 5:30 Cougar pregame show here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Alex Curie and myself getting you ready for that matchup and full postgame coverage as soon as the game goes final as well. Coming up next, PK joins the show. We'll run the world of sports, cover all the headlines we haven't had a chance to touch on. We almost have for a full week we haven't been on air, so we got a lot to cover. And what is trending? That's coming up next right here on DJ and PK on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.